Why are you an artist? It's an odd question, I know. You know, the more work you create, the more you get into your art, the more of a flow you get into, and the further along your journey you get. And all of those are really good things. But sometimes we forget why we are artists or creatives to begin with. And it's not like we have to answer that question all the time. It's not like we have to ask ourselves that question. But along the way, something can happen where we get a bit exhausted, a bit burnt out, we hit a wall a little bit. And we need to remember why we are artists and creatives to begin with. Because getting back into that emotional core of why we got into art in the first place can help us continue our journey as being creatives and artists. It's really about understanding why you do the work you do, why I do the work that I love to do. The deep down reason long ago, before the idea ever kicked into your mind that you wanted to be an artist as a job. That beginning feeling that you felt when you created, when you were making music, when you were sculpting clay, when you were writing stories, illustrating, drawing, dancing. Those first moments of how great you felt right before you realized, oh, wait a second, this is something I can and want to do for the rest of my life. Reconnecting with your emotional core can really help you drive forward as a creative. It helps you understand why you create. It helps you understand why this work still matters to you. It helps you understand what's shifted over time, over years, even decades. And it helps you understand even what work and deserves your energy right now as an artist and creative. I'll give you an example. My wife is a visual effects supervisor for a visual effects production company. She works on some big films and TV series. It's taken her from studying animation and visual effects and her master's degree to being a matte painter for an animation studio to working at other studios and building her way up across her visual effects career to now becoming a supervisor, sort of getting to oversee the visual effects for some big movies and TV series. She loves her job, but because so much of it is also overseeing and managing and leading the entire team, and because of that, though, it's not a fully creative job. I mean, she still gets to have some creative responsibility and oversight, but it's not super creative. And when she feels creatively lost, she has to remind herself why she's doing this. Because a job is like any other job, right? You do the work. You may love your job. She loves her job. But sometimes things get stressful. Sometimes they get worn out. And you have to remind yourself of why you love it so much. And for her to find her emotional core of her art and of herself as a creative, she'll go back to the things that she was most passionate about when she was young, when she was a kid, and that was illustration and drawing. She'll pull out this concept she had called the urban gnome and create new art around it. She makes these little gnome guys here with different animals. I love them so much. They're super fun. Here's another one I like a lot too. And so she'll do that. She will illustrate, she'll draw, she'll paint, she'll sometimes every so often, I'd say every few years, she'll do the Inktober challenge. She'll just draw an ink drawing a day. And she does it for herself. She doesn't always share it. Over the past 12 years, she's illustrated children's books. Look at those things. And again, she's doing this because she wants to keep practicing her creative emotional core. Those things are fun for her. And some of them get a little compensation for it. Some of them she just does it for the heck of it. It's just a way to find herself again, to find her artist, creative self. And after she does that, she's more inspired in her own job and getting back to work and seeing the creativity and the artistry in being a visual effects supervisor in visual effects. It does have a lot of art, but sometimes when you're doing it over and over, it's hard to see the art. And you may experience that same thing when you are creating, when you're making music, when you're drawing, when you're writing, when you're crafting, when you're building. You may see it as just this constant creation of something, and it's hard to see the art in your own art. You may get lost in it. And so getting back to that emotional core of it is what will help you sustain your life creatively. This is sustenance as in motivation, as in spirit, if you want to think of it that way. So your emotional core to help you keep going through and creating the art you want to create as an artist. This helps you have a clear sense of what you're trying to accomplish as an artist. Taking a step back and finding that childlike feeling, that feeling you had when you were young and creating art and so emotionally attached to your art, right? You created and it just made you feel good, it made you excited. When you get back to that emotional core of why you do this, why it matters to you, why it's important, why you feel the need to express yourself creatively, that will help you get through those rough patches, help you get through those periods where you're feeling exhausted and worn out, when you feel like you're hitting creative roadblocks. Getting back to your emotional creative core helps support the rest of your creative body. So when you're deep in your work but feeling lost, take a step back and remind yourself of why you became an artist, why you became a creative, because finding that will help bring you back to your art. I hope you found this helpful. I hope this helps you create the art you want to create and be the artist you want to be. And if you know someone who needs to hear a message like this, please send this video to them and continue creating art and bringing creativity and art into this world, because we all need it.